Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. A few moments ago, the emotional leader of the Chiefs defense, Eric Berry, making his way out of the tunnel. He and his mates will get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. Seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing now is Bortles. The open man is Westbrook. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Bortles will keep it. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. Now this time, Bortles will throw. A throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On second down, here's Yeldon. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On first down, Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey. Because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform with the...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. He was looking for Edelman there. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And now out come the Jags. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants...
And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ron Parker.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Ready, green, 39.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break. Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Bortles completes it to Lee. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score, and the Jags have taken the early lead. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes, so just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. Got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point up and through, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Barry Church. Edelman, the intended receiver that time.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Jaguars getting set to go. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. The All-Pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit. But how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level. One of the best players in the game.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mike 39, Lucy.
They keep it with Yeldon on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
372.
Bortles to throw on second down. They'll roll him out right. That is caught inside the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. Hey, spread right, spread right, spread right, spread right, snap.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And got his man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. That's to his running back, complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned a ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
There he goes, left side.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Now the extra point. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And now here comes Kansas City. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, could have turned it into much more.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's taken down inside the 30. Edelman's first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90.
On 3rd down. That's West. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Butker able to put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our player spotlight. On one hand, as we look at some of his struggles with the 3 interceptions, he's got to be upset. On the other hand, they're still winning this game.
So how does he take care of the ball the rest of the game? That's what his teammates are interested in because they pick things up for him throughout. You got to look over the defensive side, the kicking game. Those guys have made it work for him. Now his goal, not mess up anything else down the stretch.
Yeah, forget about those 3 picks. Move on. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. Shotgun now for Bortles. This one caught by Lee. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL.
Sunday. 11. Hey, 54, Ricky.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw, it's Bortles. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Justin Houston in there to drop him for his. His 5th sack of the year. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
11. Spread right, 72. 11B.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. He's up near 100 yards now here in the second quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that. Figure out where things are going wrong with the rest of the team.
They'll be hoping to hit that 100-yard mark on this drive. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90.
They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Holding offense.
That one on the left tackle, Anthony Costanzo. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Here we go now. Green 90.
They run with Hunt, and he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The Chiefs on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 36. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Bortles now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And this one is right through. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start out in the Bay Area, an AFC West matchup between old rivals, Denver and Oakland. And it's the Raiders who have the lead in the second quarter. Derek Carr has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head east to Minnesota to check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Sam Bradford, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in their ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Redskins. Matthew Stafford leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
This is Hunt. That one good for 12 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company.
Here we go. Green, 90. Green.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he completes it to Hunt. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
Here we go now. Green.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play caller. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Holding offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
On play action, it's Bortles. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Here's Bortles to throw. He goes underneath for Yeldon. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
372. Hey, 54, Ricky. 11B, 11B.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A great return there of 22 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. On target over the middle to Hill. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Ready, green, 90.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Hey.
On second down, here's Bortles. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Lucy. 372. Sola. Lucy. Hey.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Pass incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Pardon, was that Justin Houston breaking up a pass on his own drop there?
It was indeed the former Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah, normally what we talk about with him, rushing the passer. That's where he's really earned his reputation. But showing here he can be a complete player with that great speed of his.
Lucy. Sola. Lucy. Sola.
On third and long, it's Bortles. Sheds off the tackle, and he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. On first down, Bortles. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. So that throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Throwing now is Bortles. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Hunt. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is for the moment. The 6th seed is theirs, but it'll take a victory to officially lock that down.
I hear the excitement in your voice about this.
Or nervousness, both ways.
Either way, but you know, I've never met a player who didn't go into a game with a little bit of nervousness and didn't play well. Because, look, if you go in without that edge, and to this game has an edge to it, doesn't it? Then you're really not going to perform that well.
Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Bortles. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run it now out of the gun. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
On second down, here's Mahomes. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now here's Mahomes. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the kick by Butker is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
They'll run it again with Yeldon. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey. Lucy.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Now Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Mahomes to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
Well, to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T for him. They're already in field goal range here late in the fourth now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
After review of the play, the ruling on the
First down
field is
now, but the
reversed.
clock continues to move. Back to throw, Mahomes. He's going to loft run deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. To throw is Bortles. Dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Bortles. Oh, wide open, complete. He got 29 yards that time.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Now Bortles will give to Yeldon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Got a quick flash about being in their huddle. Whatever the play call was, it was tagged with these words: make sure you stay in the middle of the field. That's where we want to be.
And he did just that.
Hey, 54, Ricky.
Again, it's Yeldon. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. It's headed right. It's no good. He misses wide of the upright. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Now Hunt. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Lucy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Spread right, 72.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game. And he's got a first down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory right at the 40.
Hey, 54, Ricky. Throw that.
To throw, it's Bortles. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime, you don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about you. Throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run again with Hunt. Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
What can Mahomes do now with his overtime drive? And this is caught. That's Watkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light is still on for him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Green 90.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. This is caught. It's Julian Edelman. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They picked up a 1st down and a whole lot more. Forget about just looking for the sticks. They went well beyond the stick.
I know they were talking about guarding the sticks on defense. They didn't guard them very well. They got the big-time completion on a 3rd down. That's almost a backbreaker, isn't it? In overtime, every play's importance is magnified. And that one could turn out to be huge.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And he got it! The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal is from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Chiefs, The win won't get them to 500, but they will finish on a high note at 7-9. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card.